Hello everyone. Now today's topic is very interesting one. Five mistakes we should all avoid. We should immediately actually start avoiding to become a good speaker, a great speaker. Of course, the degree always is it's just temporary because every day there is scope to improve. Every day there is scope to enhance in everything which we take. Now, five mistakes which we basically, because these mistakes are listed out from the common mistakes which most of them try to do. Yes. Now to speak great English is a desire, right? Why? To succeed in professional life, to sound better when you speak, to generally feel special, to get recognized, and also the most important thing is to create that effective communication. Whatever you want to convey, that should be exactly conveyed in the same manner, and that is how you are becoming an effective communicator. Now English obviously being a global language and everybody is trying to excel in it. And for example, in my case, if I'm coming from a non-English medium background and never learned the grammar, like textbook grammar, and never got a chance basically, but how most of us, by the sources of listening through internet, how we are developing, and what how we are ignoring that five mistakes and which we not to immediately address them. The first one goes without saying, stop thinking in your native language. Now science says that there are two things. One is human brain always thinks in images. Yes, because when you say Sachin Tendulkar, you'll get an image. Cricket, you'll get an image. So, and the second thing is how our brain consumes information, how we take content while watching a TV. For example, if I am watching, yes, for example, my native language is Urdu or Hindi, and if I am watching a web series, say Money Heist, if I am watching Money Heist, and what kind of process I am applying while watching this? हाँ, नेक्स्ट ऐसा होगा, शायद ये विलन है. आई एम टॉकिंग टू माई सेल्फ इन माई नेटिव लैंग्वेज, बट आई एम वॉचिंग एन इंग्लिश वेब सीरीज. That doesn't work, right? So we should stop thinking in our native language. The same goes when you watch a cricket, right? ఇప్పుడు కోహ్లీ కంపల్సరీ షాట్ ఆడతాడు. ఆర్ లైక్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ద తెలుగు నేటివ్ స్పీకర్, అరే ఇట్లా చేస్తే బాగుండు, అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మైట్ బి. Thinking is not a complicated word. I keep saying thinking is self-talk. How you are doing that self-talk, in which language? Because if you are watching an English web series, do the self-talk in English. If you are watching an English documentary, think, do self-talk, understand in English itself. Why this translation? The same thing goes for a debate. Just if you are having watching a debate in English, have the thought process in English. By doing that, what will happen? The spontaneousness will improve, right? Midnight at 1 a.m. you get a call and you just say, ha chappu kya bol rahe, kya ho raha hai? Yes, in a second that word comes because your native language is feeded. So many words are inbuilt in your dictionary called as here in your mind. So that's why you are spontaneously speaking in your native language. And to do the same in English, you should obviously stop thinking in native language. Try to do that self-talk in English. If you are watching an English channel, cricket, or whatever it might be, the spontaneousness will improve. This translation process, it's wrong. The whole idea of translating language to language is obviously wrong. Yes, grammatically it is not possible. You will start fumbling. The whole mess will happen. And what will happen when we start thinking in English? The vocabulary building. Yes, imagine the complete self-talk if you are doing in English. Why? Yes, and automatically the grammar also gets updated. Why? Because the exercise is continuous in your brain now, right? The first mistake to avoid is to stop thinking in our native language. Now the second one is again very very important, which most of us try to do. Yes, the one of the common example which everybody says is how you are trying to empower your language. I am watching a lot of English movies, I am watching a lot of documentaries. Okay, but the second one is watch English movies or or web series, but in the correct genre. The correct genre. Why? Because say if you are watching Avengers, I don't think it has much to contribute to our vocabulary or our English. But say if you are watching a Sherlock Holmes, the famous, you know, detective novel which we all read, or maybe everybody knows about Sherlock Holmes, a fictional, UK-based story which is available in the form of movies and feature films as well as the web series as well. It's a great source when it comes to language. The vocabulary is very, very, useful, and lot of new words and how they speak is very important. Yes, because I think like watching like an Avengers or Iron Man, maybe one to one-liners will hit your mind, but as language, it will not flow. Watch the correct genres like social dramas, suspense thrillers, where you have a lot of conversations. Right? For example, there is a film called as A Few Good Men, where Tom Cruise plays a advocate. So that genre you watch, just for the namesake, do not try to use it as an excuse that I am watching a lot of English movies. And you know what? The biggest problem is when you try to follow, stop trying to follow what? Please guess. The subtitles. This is a wrong process. Please stop trying to follow the subtitles. Catch the language by the nature, by the flow. Okay? So because when you get a mood, when you get a reaction, when try to calculate with the facial expression that what will be the correct phrase to use in that, rather than switching our balls to the screen and subtitles to the screen and subtitles. It is unnecessarily a extra burdenful exercise. Now the third one. Yes, do not depend on. This is a common problem. People talk to yourself in your headspace. Lot of people will have this excuse that I am not having the proper environment to talk. People are not supporting, they are not encouraging to me to let off this discussion. I know in the canteen or in drawing hall, everybody is talking in the different languages, and that is not giving me any scope to try for a better language. Again, that's a problem. Yes. Instead, don't depend on people, because people are busy. They are having their own priorities. Your friend's priority may not be to speak in English. He's trying something else. So why to just blame him? So always talk to yourself in your headspace. Don't worry, nobody will think you as mad. Yes, this is an exercise you are doing for your empowerment. So please talk to in your headspace. That's so much to do with the first mistake. If you talk to your headspace in your native language, it will not work. So try to just avoid all these excuses. Be honest to yourself. In order to come out of my comfort zone, I should confess that I should not blame others. Instead, I should talk to myself in my headspace, in my imagination. Imagination is more powerful than knowledge. No need to forget already the great genius Albert Einstein told. That's how he already achieved so many things with just his imagination. So please try to imagine before. If you have an interview, try to imagine this. If you have a group discussion, try to imagine that. A presentation, your mind is your own, workshop, and that should not be idle. Okay, so that's the key. The fourth one is very interesting. Everybody knows to empower ourselves in language, we need to learn vocabulary, but at the same time, learning new words is just not enough. Learning new words is just not enough. What we should do, apply them or simply use them. Just for example, you have learned a new word called as lethargic, which is an alternate word or a better word to sound lazy. You can just use it. I used to be very lethargic in school. Whatever it might be, try to create situations again in your headspace, because we all learn new words. We try to find the meaning of it, but we stop using them. Right? We don't find situations or we don't create them to use them. We feel sometimes awkward. We feel that what somebody will just pass a comment, or what if I mispronounce. All these are a part of process. So just don't learn new words. Please try to apply them. Okay. And the fifth mistake, which everybody tries to do, and this is a serious problem for many people, don't try any accent forcibly. Okay? Try to speak in your tone or in your natural way. Do not try to basically try an accent, maybe an American accent or United Kingdom, UK accent, or some celebrities accent. Don't try to forcibly an accent, because to be understood is important. To sound better, to sound clear is important. Slowly, you will have your own way of articulation and your own way of delivery of the speech. Yes, because speech is very unique. You cannot just copy someone. So in the unnecessary urge of having an accent to make yourself constrained and to make yourself, don't trouble yourself, right? First idea is to empower yourself in your ability to explain. Yes, for one word, do you have 3 or 4 alternatives or what? Yes, for every expression, do you have phrase or not? Right? Then it will obviously pick up. Okay, so first is, don't try or don't stop thinking in your native language. When you are watching, when you are consuming English content, try to think what you consume, that only you can produce. Okay, and the second one, which I mean not coming maybe in order, but the second one was what we have discussed, right? Try to build your don't try to depend on the people for creating conversations or for basically having conversations. Try to talk to you in your headspace. Yes, learning new words is not enough. Try to apply them. Yes, in the same way, when you don't try a new accent unnecessarily, you focus on the process. 100% you will feel better. You will make sure that you are continuously improving in your language. Okay, so I hope this content will be useful to you. Very soon we'll meet with some other topic. Thank you.